What's up everyone? It's been a hot minute. This is actually the second time that I'm making this vlog. The first time I made it, I just babbled and I hated it. I really hated it, so I'm making it again. So yeah, this is the first, like, I suppose, actual vlog that I've done in about forever. And I just wanted to have a quick chat to you guys about why. It's been a few weeks between uploads and what's been going on, and yeah, just a general bit of an update, I suppose, because it's been a little bit. So as far as the lack of uploads, honestly guys, it just comes down to that old time thing. It's been, I suppose, not the greatest couple of months. It's just been a bit of a pain, it's a bit of a slog for us. You know, as far as, I suppose, meeting the goals that I'd set for the business this year, we are running quite a bit further behind than I expected, which has meant that we're sort of back into working nights a fair bit just to try and catch up on a few things. Basically, without going into it too much, we just had a few jobs that sort of just about killed us, and all of them would have been all right if they're on their own, but we seem to just have them all at the same time. We had that GQ that we LS swapped, and the problems we had with that were just like really strange things that we couldn't have foreseen, really. Obviously lessons that we've learned now, but just those sorts of issues when you're doing a conversion like that. You know, we supplied everything, we did the conversion, that sort of thing. So it's when you have issues like that, it's not a cost that you can pass on to the customer, because it's certainly not the customer's fault. So, you know, we ended up losing probably 2.5, maybe 3 weeks in between all the issues we had with that car. Not to mention how late we had to wait for the loom and how much that set us back. So, you know, before Easter we were busting us trying to get Crustita and everything done for Rocky Nats. We're trying to get the VS done. We were trying to get that LS swap done in that patrol, and we were working days and nights, and it was killing us, and we ended up just not getting really any of them across the line for their own reasons. And it was a real pain. So after Easter, we decided we'll go back to just a bit of a regular, I suppose, schedule, doing regular work hours. And then that happened with the patrol, and we had another certain job here that was more than what we were led to believe when we took it on. And everything we touched on it just turned into more work, but it was sort of done for a set price. So that sort of killed us as well. So having both of them at the same time just set us way further behind. We lost heaps of time, and pretty much since then, again, we've been back to working days and nights. So that's why I haven't had any content for a little while. But we're getting on top of it now, getting to the pointy end of it all now, and we're pretty much back to being caught up with everything and back to being normal. So that's why I thought I'd make this vlog. I'm gonna try and get back into actually editing and getting this content out, because again, although I haven't had time to edit, I've still been filming. I don't know how exciting it's going to be, because it's been stressful and hard, and I've been very tired for a lot of the time, but I have been filming and I've just got more content that I know what to do with. So in this video, I'll take you through a few things that we've got planned, a few things that are going on in future, and just I suppose a few sneak peeks of what's to come as well. This one's today's get up. That's pretty sick. And I've been making heaps of TikToks lately, just because TikTok's a lot easier to make content than YouTube, and it seems to do pretty well. You know, YouTube, it takes me anywhere from 3 hours onwards to sort of make content, to make a video, I suppose, which is very time consuming. I don't have time, whereas TikTok, I can just make something all throughout the day. It takes me about 2 minutes to make something and it's out. And so if you'd like to see more of content of what we're doing sort of in real time, go on TikTok and follow me there. But if not, you know, all of this content is coming. It's just a matter of me finding time to do it. So, woohoo! Check this out. So this is the old boy's new rig. He bought this 2 weeks ago now. XR8 Ute. It's got like the FPV Pursuit front bar and stuff like that. I really like it. I'm a big fan. So we're going to be tidying this up. This is just going to be sort of the old boy's new rig. A little bit of a shop ute, I suppose. We'll steal it when we need it, but it's pretty cool. I like it. Just a stock, pretty much all stock at the moment, so we're tossing up whether to cam it and that, but maybe one day I'll make some content on it, maybe. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep out of the shed because of the noise, but I've started to do a lot of rearranging in the shed. A lot of you who have been following a lot know we've got big plans to sort of rearrange the workspace and get it set up a lot better for ultimately so that we can probably hopefully employ someone. Got a few people in mind, but basically just try and get someone else on. There's a few reasons for that, which I'll go through in a minute, but I've started to tidy the place up. You'll notice this end bay next to the engine room where we used to keep all of our stuff for company builds. Used to be a bit of a spray booth, but that stopped. But I finally put some racking in there. We started to sort that out. So you can see here now with everything up on racks, it's everything's much more accessible. We have a lot more room for stuff, and it's just made everything a lot tidier and a lot nicer. So I've also moved all the office stuff up over to this end. The main reason for that is over the other side of the engine room where that all that office and stuff was, that's actually where we have planned to build a downstairs bathroom, which we were going to build before anything else, so that we actually have amenities in the shed, which is obviously important for if you had someone working here sort of deal. So this is looking much better now, a lot tidier, much happier with that. So I did that the other day. That's pretty much step one on starting to tidy the place up a bit and get it set up the way we want to. So this is the next little update that's happened in the past couple of months. It's been a long time since I just did a vlog and not just a build episode sort of thing, so kind of fun, I guess. But this shed down here we used to keep all of our storage stuff in has been concreted. So a lot of you guys know our old man. He does a lot of panel stuff. He's big into panel work. He's always had a lot of panel stuff to do. That's sort of why we built that little spray booth in there, but we just got so busy that we need the space for storage and that. So old boy decided to concrete the floor of this shed. We've got doors and stuff to go on it. It'll be all enclosed and everything. We've run power to it now. So this will become, I suppose, the panel area. So this will be cleaned up and stuff, obviously, but this will be sort of the panel shed, which means a lot of the paint, gear and stuff is coming down here, which is what used to occupy one of the containers up there. So I'll take you up there and show you a bit about that, I suppose, now. So as a lot of you know, there's still a lot of stuff in the actual shed that is ours, that is just being stored in there, which I hate because it's a workshop now, it's a workspace. We don't need to store our crap in there, it gets in the way. There's so much area we could be using. Like I've always said, the shed's not very well set up as far as running a business because it was never intended to be a business, I suppose, when we first built it. It wasn't always meant to be just for us. And like I've always said, we have a massive amount of space. A lot of people would kill for that much sort of space. It's just the fact that we haven't got it set up as well to utilize it. So that's what this all is. So a lot of that paint stuff that's now down in that shed used to be kept in this container, which is now obviously not in here anymore. So with that paint stuff gone, this container's starting to get pretty bare, as you can see. I've started to put pallet racking up and shelving and stuff. Wait until come back over to here where it's a bit quieter. But obviously with all that paint stuff and that gone and some new racking put in that container, we're finally at a point where we will be able to start sorting a lot of our crap and getting it out of the shed. So the other container you can see there, that's a lot of stock stuff as well. So we're going to be sorting a lot of stuff out over the next few weeks. All of our stuff that's down in the back, down in the bottom shed there, going to sort all that up into the container, all of our stuff out of the main shed, get it all out of the shed, out of the way. I'll take you, there's a few other things I'll do. I probably won't take you now because it's going to be too noisy, but I might make vlogs as we go about it. But yeah, with a lot of our stuff out of the shed and rearranging a few things in there that I'm trying to rearrange and reset up with more shelving and stuff with certain things, you'll be amazed how much space we'll get back in the workshop. So that's the idea, is to get all our stuff out of there into the container, and then that shed down there will be empty of our stuff as well. So Dad will have that full on for a bit of a panel shed. And basically our plan is to, this end bay where we've got the hoist, I think I've gone through it before in a few videos, but the plan is to turn the hoist 45 up this end and then put a second bay in. So basically all access will be through that door, the middle door, and there'll be 2 hoists in this end. And way more bench space, way more area to put stuff. Unfortunately for now, the dyno's just gonna have to stay in the shed until we get our dyno cell built out the back there, which I've gone through used before as well. But at least then, for now, there'll still be 2 hoists, which means we can have 2 projects or 2 things in the shed at once, with plenty of bench space and stuff, which means that if we had someone that could come and help out casually, which like I said, sort of got an idea of who I would like, if they would like to do it sort of deal. But you know, we'd at least have some help and a bit more going on, because we definitely do get enough work to do it, to sort of have another person in there and helping us out. So that's the idea. Now, the reason we're moving this way, apart from obviously these few jobs just setting us way behind the past couple of months, just seems it's one of those things. It's part of the course, starting your business, early days, steep learning curves. It's all just part of the deal. It's what happens. But so while we've got just a little bit of a break here, so yeah, where this office stuff was, this is where the bathroom's going. So that's why I cleared all this out so we can start building that. But even look at this. Look how full the engine room is at the moment. Absolutely shockers. We got a bit on here. So while we can get in here and there's not a lot of noise going on because we're about to get cracking on tuning this thing. So yeah, this hoist turned 45, another hoist here, 2 sort of 45 bays, and the dyno will be a lot better. And you know, we won't need that bench. Dad will probably claim that and put it down in his shed. A lot of that stuff on the back wall, pretty much all of that is going down into that shed down there. pretty much all of this stuff under here is ours. It'll go into storage, all that stuff up there into storage, all the fluids and all of this stuff that we use, our consumables, wiring tools and stuff, are all going to get sorted into better racking systems to make it more accessible and better organized. The spray cabinet's going down the shed, so another rack there for a lot of stuff, another rack up the other end for a lot of stuff, and this level of these racks were always meant to be workbenches. This was never meant to be storage. So get all that back for workbenches, move things around a fair bit. And as you can see, we'll end up with a lot more space that we can utilize and definitely have someone comfortable enough to be sort of in here, provided we're not tuning. We'll have to try and work it on, have help days where we're not wanting to tune because, can't really have people working here while we're tuning. But once we get the dyno outside, that'll be awesome. Once we get the cell built and get the dyno out into a cell, that'll make things way, way better. So that's pretty much where we're trying to head with it. And as I was getting to, apart from the past few months of just a few things really setting us far behind, is also just a lot of you guys know that I live with a pretty bad arm injury. I've got a broken arm that's real bad. And the past couple of weeks, I've been having some real bad problems with that. It's been getting worse and worse. So between my body sort of being quite a big limitation and time being obviously very hard for me as far as trying to sort of do everything, as far as trying to run the channel and get a content out, which as you guys know, between running a business and then having a family, it always comes last, which is why you don't see sometimes for a few weeks. So between trying to run the channel, trying to run the shop, trying to sort of run the business and try and reply to everyone, get back to everyone, emails and that sort of thing, plus trying to be on the tools, trying to do everything at once, it's getting too much. It's too much time. It takes a lot of time to do all of those things. Plus, obviously, have a young child at home. So yeah, it gets pretty hard. So between that, my arm, and also my missus wants to go back to work the next after July. So she's talking about going back just to do a few days a week as well, which is totally cool. So all those things combined is starting to be like, it's getting too hard to do it all, which would be, it'd just be real nice if we just had someone else come a few days a week just to help Rex with, the heavy lifting side of things, because my arm's getting real bad. And a lot of stuff that we do, it is a great help to have a second person. There's a lot of stuff that someone else could be doing while me and Rex are doing engines or whatever, cleaning part, there's always so much to do that we could definitely have someone here to help out. Not only that, I feel like even just with the filming and the content side of things, to have another personality around would probably be a really good dynamic to the content. Because as much as Rex is a gun at everything he doesn't particularly like being in front of the camera, which usually means it's just me always in front of the camera. And because I'm usually the one that's also always doing all the work with Rex, it's not like we have someone to film us and setting up angles to set the camera and do all that. That takes a lot of time, and it's time that we can't afford because we're always so freaking busy. So, to have a second person to be helping Rex out, if I could focus a little bit more on the content, there's so many good advantages to having a little bit of help around that would be really good. But obviously, the biggest things for us with not doing that, firstly, has been our reputation. This whole industry is basically all based on reputation, and to trust that for someone to someone else's hands is hard. It's hard to think about trusting someone else with a reputation. That's why it's got to be the right person, obviously. Secondly is just the way the shed's been set out for this long. It works great for me and Rex. If I could have a bit more time, I suppose, to focus on just running the shop as well and selling parts, there's a lot that I can do. I reckon I could do better being on the tools less. So that's what we're trying to work towards. Anyway, I'm babbling again. So that's pretty much the plan. That's why you haven't seen me for a while. We've just been freaking busy. Time is hard to come by. I'm a very busy person these days, and it's getting real hard. And yeah, so that's pretty much where we are. So as far as what's to come, the big bad purple VY, which you haven't seen for a little while now. So that's been a whole other thing on its own, which has been a little bit painful, but also massively exciting. So the owner decided to go in a new direction, so a lot of that had to come apart. You see it in the content, but that's well underway now, which is awesome. We're excited to finish that. You'll see the end of the GQ build very soon, as well as the end of the turboed 1FZ build very soon. I've been smashing out work on the VS. It's getting closer and closer every day. We've got a few other things around happening. We've got some really cool stuff coming up. This range is very spicy. That'll be starting soon. Yeah, Obi's looking forward to that. Finally got started on the 33 that's been out here forever. Had problems with that as well, pulling it apart. It's got its own issues, which are getting sorted at the moment. And yeah, basically we've got some heaps cool stuff coming as always. We keep on getting cooler and cooler work through the door, it seems, and it's all super exciting. It's just, it's all getting really hard to do everything all at once for me and Rex. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, hope you're looking forward to what's to come. The other thing is a few of these jobs that are lying around once we actually get them out the door, and the next sort of thing, once we have got through a lot of the stuff we've got lined up and we've come back into where we've got a little bit more time, is to obviously, as we've always talked about, getting into our common rail tuning. So talked to you guys about it before. Massive market where we are out here, geographically where we are placed in Australia. The common rail tuning market is massive. It'd be crazy for us not to put our foot in that door and get a few of those things coming through the door. So, you know, once we get busy with that as well, Rex may end up just about on the dyno all day with common rail stuff, which would be awesome. That'd be really good. But you know, it's another one of those things where if Rex is pretty much that busy that he's tuning pretty much every day, which is hopefully where it'll go. Doing obviously between part-time working because the missus will be at work, not being able to do heavy things on the tools because of my body, and trying to run the shop and stuff in that little time that I've got and do content and that, you know, we're gonna need people. So that's where it's going. Anyway, before I keep babbling anymore and I make another video that I hate, that's pretty much where we're going. We're gonna try and get into diesel, common rail tuning and that sort of thing very soon, over the next month, hopefully. Get a lot of our stuff sorted out of the shed, out into storage, get the shed a bit better set up. Hopefully we can afford to buy a hoist. When we start going through a lot of the stuff to put in storage, we're gonna start going through a lot of the stuff we're gonna wanna sell off, because we've got so much stuff that we store that we don't need to keep. And actually, while I've got yous, canned front wheel drive SR20, if anyone wants to buy that, I wanna sell that. I'm never gonna get to putting that into my Pulsar. I also want to sell my Pulsar. It's out of rego. I didn't bother renewing the rego because now that I live out here, I don't really need it. So I've decided to sell it off as well. So if anyone would like the big blue meanie, the blue turd, you know, hit me up. There's a few things I want to sell, but yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a fire sale when we start sorting through a lot of that stuff, and hopefully we can just make enough out of selling a lot of our stuff that we can buy the second hoist to go in here and get it set up. So hopefully over the next 2 to 3 months, we've got this place pretty sorted as far as getting it sorted like that, so that when my missus goes back to work, we're pretty much ready for, if we can get someone out here to work a few days a week, we can get through a lot more of the work that we've got coming up. I'll still, obviously, I think I've probably been talking like I'm just gonna drop off the face of the planet and not gonna be here, but you know, I'm still gonna do a lot of work. It's just that I'm gonna have limitations because I've got a child that I'll have to look after and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, it's not that I'm just gonna stop doing the work, it's just that I need to start exploring other options to getting it done without me having to be on the tools all day, every day. So that's where we're at. That's why I haven't seen me. I'm going to try and make a point of starting to get back into the habit of doing a lot of editing. I actually would like to start making a habit of doing editing during business hours and have a bit more discipline as far as going home and stopping work, because when you run a business like this and you're trying to do content and you know, you work all day and you go home, and what we've usually been doing is after dinner coming back, but sometimes I'll just edit and you work and home just starts to mesh into one, and it seems like you get a lot done, but it's actually, I reckon, fairly destructive as far as not having the discipline of having set work hours and being more efficient within those hours and then having a break, etc. I think it's more so destructive than anything else. So trying to get into the habit of doing that. Hopefully, you know, edit in the afternoons while I'm here, go home and turn my brain off, turn my work brain off and hang out with the fam and stuff like that. So just trying to make a few changes, I guess I'm trying to say. Working towards getting to a place where we can achieve our goals a bit better, and I suppose make sure we don't grow to dislike what we do, because it's not why we started doing it. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed. Smash like, smash subscribe, and yeah, hopefully we'll have a bit more content out a bit more regularly at this point. I know I said that last time, but fingers crossed I actually mean it this time. So We'll see you next time. Peace out, see you, bye.